Hi, welcome to Life with Steph Beth. This is my third channel and I've been doing a bunch of really random videos on this channel, and so I figured why not continue. So between an attempt at a weight loss journey, food stuff, story times, and stuff like that, here we are. Today I wanted to share with you how I was a published author at age 11. So I've got my author like updo thing going on. It doesn't look very good. Don't worry about it. There's this thing that went around. I don't know if people still do this or not, but for the longest time I thought it was amazing, where people were reading the stories they wrote when they were little or reading their diary when they were little and stuff like that. And I used to write stories all the time. So I thought it was right up my alley when they came to us and they're like, everyone in the class needs to write a small story. A short story had certain, what is the word, specifications? Whatever, however long it had to be, etc. And so they printed them all together, and it's the Anthology of Short Stories by Young Americans 2006 edition. So there I am in here. This is my story. My story is Misty's Missing. Now, of course, I thought I was pretty special for being able to be selected for this book, but I came across a video someone was talking about, and they're like, everybody experienced that, and these people were just smart to put it all together, and they had a guaranteed market of parents, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So I'm not that special after all. So I might as well get my moment out of it and read this for a video. Misty's Missing. It was a hot summer day and lightning. The lead stallion was looking over his territory. Yes, I was a horse girl, okay? The stream was calmly trickling over a hill. Rocky Hill still looked dangerous and rocky. The caves in the woods looked peaceful from his hill. His part of the meadow was full of flowers and grass. Lightning could see Lawler, L-A-W-L-E-R, the leader of a wolf pack, stalking the other side of the meadow. Lightning looked back at his herd. His special two were there, Misty and Starry Sky. Misty was his only daughter so far. Then the rest of the foals were there, Bolt, Golden Sunrise, and Sunheart. Of course, there was Rising Sun gossiping to the other few mares. He could see Rista, the bald eagle, flying to a branch on a high tree. Pretty sure the bald eagle was only there under the influence of Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron, just saying. Starry Sky, Lightning called out to his mare. Yes, what is it? Starry Sky said in reply as she climbed up the hill. Is Rising Sun interfering with the foals' minds again? Unfortunately. Starry Sky looked Lightning straight in the eye. I really need to go somewhere, and I'm going to leave Misty alone. I'll have to head out now, or I'll never reach it before the summer storm hits. I can feel it coming. Then she dashed off in a hurry. Lightning shook. He could feel it too. Even under the sun, he shivered at the thought of the storm. Misty watched her mom go and wondered why. She walked back and forth until she got an idea. Hey, Sunheart, why don't you come over here and play? Misty shouted. I can't play right now. That's what my mom says. Sorry. Misty sighed. She was so desperate to play with someone that she went to Golden Sunrise and Bolt. Ooh, looky here. If it ain't Miss Special, Bolt said sarcastically. What do you want with us, Philly? Golden Sunrise asked. Yeah, what do you want? Bolt repeated. I just want to play with you, Misty replied, a little upset. A mean idea went into Golden Sunrise's head. Well, I can tell you a story. So Golden Sunrise told Misty about some grand treasure that you could only find if you go through the woods and into the 5th cave, and then swam up river all the way to Rocky Hill and climbed to the top at a trot. Is it really true? Misty asked, excited. You have to find out this very night at dark or you'll never know, Golden Sunrise answered with mischief in her eye. So Misty went over to Sunheart, her best friend, who couldn't play earlier. You think that I should find it? Misty asked. Yes, of course you should. It would be great to find a treasure. Can I come too? Sunheart asked. No, Sunheart shouldn't. She might drag you behind. It's already turning into night, Bolt said once he heard them. I guess he's right, Misty. Plus, I'd be homesick, Sunheart answered with a sigh. Okay, but like, how did Sunheart even know what we were talking about? Is everybody just eavesdropping or something? Okay, I'll remember to take precautions on my way. Misty answered and turned trotting toward the woods. Misty got into the woods, then was terribly scared. She, like most foals, did not know the woods well. She looked hard for the caves so she could enter the right one. Ow! Misty heard the howl. Ow! 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 Misty cringed. Who are you? She cried out to the howl shakily. Oh, Oh, sorry, I'm just a pup. My name's Howler. Original, a voice said, moving closer. The young pup jumped from a rock and stood in front of her. Do you know these woods? She asked timidly. Oh yes, it's the greatest place to be, don't you think? No, I don't. But can you tell me where the caves are? Better yet, I'll show you, Howler replied, turning. They traveled through the woods for a good 20 minutes before reaching the caves, which were slightly in the clearing. Can you show me the 5th cave, Howler? Misty asked. Howler stopped at the 5th cave. I'm not allowed to go any further than this, so I guess I'll see you some other time. Then the pup slinked off into the darkness. Misty decided to canter through the cave. She heard a heavy pattering, but she thought her hooves made it, so she ignored it. But when she reached the opening, it was pouring down rain. Even though she was scared, wet, and cold, she plunged into the water and swam upstream toward Rocky Hill. Guarantee you, most of this is influenced from watching Spirit Stallion of Cimarron. I'm just saying. Starry Sky flew over the hills and back to her herd by the time it started pouring down rain. She went over to Lightning. I'm back now, she said to him. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Thank goodness, I wasn't sure you would make it, Lightning replied. You might as well go greet our restless daughter, he added. Starry Sky circled the herd. She didn't see Misty. Her speed quickened with every lap until she finally broke into a gallop toward Lightning. Misty's missing, she cried as she went toward him frantically. Gee, that's the title of the story. What? You mean she's really gone? Lightning said worriedly. Yes, she's gone. I'm not kidding, Starry Sky shouted in reply. Rista! Rista, come here, Rista, Lightning called. Rista flew and landed on an overhanging limb. Rista, fly around and see if you can find Misty, Starry Sky called out. Rista flew into the dark sky. Soon she came back. I can't see anything up there. It's too dark, Rista reported. Send Rising Sun to see if she's in the woods a little way, Lightning said. Rising Sun grew serious and dashed off to find Misty. Rising Sun came back empty-handed. We'll have to wait till morning, Rista said sadly. You're right, Rista. We'll have to wait, Lightning replied. This dialogue is killing me. Misty swam as hard as she could through the stream and rain. The thunder boomed and the lightning flashed sharply. After a while, Misty found herself at Rocky Hill. She started to trot, but her hoof got stuck in a loose root. She yanked and pulled but couldn't get free from its grasp. The more she tried to get away, the more painful it got. Soon she discovered that it was all a mean trick. What if she had brought Sunheart along? She knew that her friend would end up scared and hurt, just as she was. Misty wished the bleeding would stop along with the storm. She finally fell asleep with her foot stuck. I love how it went from hoof to foot. Did any of you see Misty after I left? Starry Sky asked the mares who had gathered. All the foals were asleep. Each of the mares shook their heads no. Horses! Oh, you annoying horses! Lawler's voice rasped over the storm and the horses. What is it, Lawler? Lightning said as he met the wolf face to face. You have no need to spy on me or my land. Howler reported one of your fillies close to my land. Lawler growled angrily. He was even angrier when he saw hope jump into Lightning's eyes. Lawler was so angry he dared to bare his teeth. You must excuse my happiness, Lawler. A filly has been missing, Lightning returned. Lawler covered his teeth and scowled. Well, get her away from us as soon as possible. It looks like the storm's letting up. Then he slinked out of view, because that's all wolves slink. That's all they do. The horses waited until morning when the storm cleared out. Horses, scatter and find Misty quickly, Lightning's voice rang out. The horses moved at a fast speed. In a matter of minutes, they found Misty. Misty! Starry Sky called out when she saw the lump lying there. Starry Sky trotted over to Misty, but Misty didn't move. Starry Sky frantically gnawed on the root until it broke. Then she moved Misty's leg. Ow! Misty howled and lifted her head. Mom! She shouted and stumbled to a stand with one leg in the air. Let's go home now, Misty, Starry Sky answered lovingly. Misty hobbled home uncomfortably. The bleeding had stopped, but it still hurt. All the horses that had searched for her gathered around her for the trip home. When they got back, Golden Sunrise and Bolt hid, but Sunheart came toward her happily. I'm so glad you're back. I hope your wound heals soon, Sunheart said, lying down next to her. I hope that heals properly, Misty, Starry Sky said, looking doubtfully at the filly's injury. What was in your mind to go out at night and during a storm and try to go through caves and climb Rocky Hill? In all caps. Misty had to tell her mom about the story. And she did. Golden Sunrise and Bolt got in trouble for misleading Misty. From that day on, the two foals never made fun of Misty. They were even nice to her. Misty often felt bad that they were punished, but she couldn't bear to be looked at like some lunatic. Soon the foals were frisky again and they started to ignore her. When that happened, Misty felt joyful once again. Yeah, so I heard that adding details was very important. Oh, we had so many characters. So many of them were completely useless and had zero nuance. I was 11, but I did not realize just how bad this story was. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed that horrendous piece of fiction. If you did, go ahead and drop a like on this video and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you a published author in one of these types of books? And yeah, let me know what you thought about my beautiful plot. If you're not subscribed to this completely random channel already, why not? I mean, it's just a matter of why not at this point. Hit the subscribe button. I do upload to this channel every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. I hope you're having a wonderful week and see me in my next video. Bye!